What is going on, everybody? So I am back today because my friend Ray and I have a podcast together called the Film Monsters Podcast. And what we do on the podcast is talk about whatever we want in films. And we just got out of the Halloween season and we talked about all different kinds of spooky movies. And so for the next topic, for a 5-episode stint, we decided we wanted to pick 5 directors for 5 different episodes and kind of highlight films in their catalog or just talk about the reasons why we love them. So the first week we collectively decided to talk about John Carpenter. And for the next episode, which we're about to record, Ray selected one of his favorite filmmakers, Denis Villeneuve. And so I'm going through and watching a lot of Denis Villeneuve films that I had not seen. I've seen some of the films in his catalog. I saw Prisoners when it was released in theaters. I saw Enemy a few years ago. But other than that, I had really kind of fallen behind on his catalog. I just watched Arrival and Blade Runner 2049 for the first time this year. And so I hadn't really watched a lot of his movies. So I'm going back through and watching all of these other films, and I wanted to do some videos on him because I really like his movies and I think he's a really talented filmmaker. And so the film in his catalog I'm going to be discussing today is the film Sicario. Sicario is directed by Denis Villeneuve. An idealistic FBI agent is enlisted by a government task force to aid in the escalating war against drugs at the border area between the US and Mexico. So when it comes to Villeneuve's catalog, I feel like Sicario is a film that people like either really love or just genuinely think is alright. I think I'd bundle myself in the group of people who find this movie to be okay. I don't think that it's anything spectacular, and when I look at Villeneuve's catalog, I think of films like Blade Runner 2049 and Arrival, and a film that I'm going to do a review on here very soon, Incendies. And there's so many films that he has made that have just like amazing character development and incredible storytelling skills. And Sicario has some of that, but for the most part, it becomes really just a run-of-the-mill drug cartel movie that really didn't do a whole lot for me. The film starts off incredibly. The first 15-minute segment where Emily Blunt's team is doing this drug raid and her partner is Daniel Kaluuya. They raid this house, they end up shooting a bunch of people, and they find all of these dead bodies in the walls of this house. It is just so in your face and intense, and it keeps you invested and really just kind of like jumps you in the first 10 minutes of the movie to where you're like, wow, where is this going to go? And I was immediately hooked from that first segment because Villeneuve is such an incredible filmmaker when it comes to picking amazing cinematographers to work with him. Like, obviously Roger Deakins has worked with him multiple times. He just gets amazing people to work with him so that the visuals are just as striking as the performances and the dialogue. And so this early sequence is really amazing and kind of draws you in. Well, then you get to a point where Josh Brolin's character is introduced with Benicio del Toro's character, and they're running this task force where they're trying to interfere with this drug cartel's operation in Mexico to kind of do things under the table. And Emily Blunt is presented the opportunity to join this task force, but isn't really 100% told what they're going to be doing. And so she reluctantly agrees because she wants to put a stop to this because so many civilians are being killed for no reason. And it really just becomes a very messy circumstance. Well, when she gets involved, she realizes that this team is doing a lot of things under the table that they shouldn't be doing. And then the film takes a really big twist in the third act that I'm not going to get into that was relatively interesting, but I feel like this is something we've seen before. It's not like anything super surprising. And what I really kind of fell short for me in this movie a lot, comparatively to, like I said, the other works that Villeneuve has made, is that Emily Blunt's character is painted out to be the lead from very early on. But I feel like as the film progresses, she kind of just gets pushed to the back burner and is just a vehicle for the film to take place. And it's less about her character as a whole and understanding her and kind of getting into her psyche. It's more just like this job damages her. She wants to be a good cop. She wants to do things the right way, but everything is set up against her to not be able to do it the right way. And aside from that really surface level character development, there really isn't much more. And then it becomes much more about a film of like Josh Brolin's leadership skills and then then who is Benicio del Toro? Why is he doing the things that he's doing? And Daniel Kaluuya even gets shoved off to the side as just like a filler character, which he is such an incredible actor, and he does do an amazing job while he's in the film, but I feel like it takes away from the movie to kind of paint it out to be that she's going to be this lead carrying us from start to finish, and then just kind of shoving her off to the side and saying, no, this is going to be a different story. I think there's some really great scenes of suspense. There's a really amazing sequence where they're trying to get back into the United States border, and they're all stopped and backed up with these cars, and they think there's going to be people that try to shoot them, and it's the tension in that is executed really well. But for the most part, there's a lot of expositional dialogue towards the middle of this film that doesn't really amount to a whole lot. And the third act twist, like I said, was really good, but it felt like it was the beginning of a TV series and less of a full-length feature film. And I know this ended up spawning a second film that was not very well liked, and Denis Villeneuve did not direct it. But yeah, this movie left me relatively underwhelmed. I still think that it's incredibly well shot. I think the performances are all really good, but as far as the through line story, it's just not really anything I could ever see myself revisiting, which is unfortunate because I really love crime dramas, and I was hopeful that I was really going to love this one, and I ended up just sort of liking it. So have you seen Sicario? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought. I thought this movie was okay. It's not really anything spectacular compared to some of the amazing films in Denis Villeneuve's catalog that he's already made. As always, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, it helps me out a lot and lets me know the type of content you're looking for. I'm always putting out new material and look forward to getting more out for you in the near future. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.